Hi, I'm Lisa Seifert. I want to talk today about facts in the immigration area, what we see, how we react and feel about it. For me, looking at what's happening to the Somali community in Minnesota is really hurtful. Minnesota is where I'm from, and it's supposed to be, it always has been a place where people are nice to each other. That's not hyperbole, that's really true. People seem to be more gentle. The Somali community, of course, is quite different from most Minnesotans, but they have been there for decades now. And the administration has decided to target them with ICE enforcement, which is really sad. So I'm seeing videos, I'm hearing from people who are worried that their family members are going to get scooped up by ICE. This is a fact that this is happening. As an immigration lawyer, I know that most of the people who are picked up, well over 90% of them don't have any big criminal problem. It's easy for the government to get somebody when they're in jail or when they're coming out of prison. That is, then we know definitely people have a criminal problem. If an officer is grabbing somebody at a Home Depot, they don't know that. So the fact is, people that haven't done anything wrong are being grabbed by officers who might work directly for ICE, might work for who knows. The masked presence of officers, I don't know, should we call them officers? It's very unsettling. I have had one client that this happened to, and that person was targeted because the officers, and this time all the way in ICE, they thought that he was a wanted person in another country. Of the rest of my clients, I worry every single time somebody goes to an immigration office for any kind of interview. Any kind of interaction at all. In our world, it is normal for people to go to a local immigration office to do fingerprints, biometrics. This is new in the last 10 to 15 years, but it's now normal that part of every single application is a person shows up for fingerprints and photograph, and that information is loaded into their file. Case can't go forward until that is done. And normally this is an interaction where the person shows up with their ID. Somebody who works at immigration, who's not really an immigration officer, they work for a support center, and they take the fingerprints electronically, they take a picture, they verify with the ID that that is the person, and that's it. Then the person leaves. So it's not an opportunity for any kind of chat with an officer, with an immigration officer, with an ICE officer. But the person that is going in the building, and in the case of Seattle, ICE officers are upstairs. So I worry about that. People have a biometric appointment. Are they going to be arrested? Fortunately, in this area, it doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't happen very often at all. The people I know of, that I hear from my colleagues that are having clients arrested, or those clients, have generally crossed some sort of line. They have had a previous deportation order, or there is something in their file that makes it unusual. And so those of us in the immigration field who think they don't have clients with those situations, we feel a little bit okay about that. I feel lucky that I haven't been in an office when one of my clients has been arrested or taken. I feel it is my job to advocate for those clients if an officer is about to do that. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened to me for probably 25 years or more. It did happen once. And the officers were looking for my specific client because he had had a deportation order many years before, and it wasn't the kind of order that he even understood was a deportation order. So he didn't know, we didn't know, and he was briefly taken and then released. These days, if somebody is taken, it's a whole other situation, and I'll get into that in another video. So the facts are impacting me because I worry. The facts that ICE officers are arresting people and taking them, I worry that will be one of my clients. I worry that I'm not prepared enough as an advocate, as a person, to deal with that. I'm glad that my colleagues are around and that people who have gone through these situations with their clients are sharing information. I think that is sufficient for now, and thank you. See you next time.